Hello, welcome into science today. We have been looking at minerals and all of their characteristics, all their properties, and how we identify them. So we are practicing right now how to identify these minerals, going through all of the various tests. Hybrid kids have the opportunity to do this hands-on, and we're going to alternate on those remote days, and for our remote learners, you're doing it also online, so through a Gizmo. So today, you should have me being like the Fonz, jumping the shark on the skis. You're going to grab your mineral identification sheet there. It's a Gizmo sheet. Okay, it looks a little something like this, so go grab that. And we are going to kind of walk through this mineral identification gizmo, how it works and what you're going to do with it. It's a little trickier, but it is also one of those fun ones to do. So remember to get to gizmos. You now have to go through Clever. Mine is under my favorites. Yours may not be there. Okay, you may have to scroll all the way down. I know it's so far down to science. Find that blue gizmo. Open it up, and when you get there, you should have that mineral identification gizmo ready. It looks a little something like this. So the goal at the end of this gizmo is to identify the mineral. So you can type the name in there, submit it, and it will check whether you're right or wrong. Here is your properties. You have appearance. We're going to talk about density here in a minute, but you can do the density, and there's the test to run for density. You're going to scratch for hardness through that Mohs scale. You get to do a streak test, and there is your mineral plates. And then you're going to do an acid reaction test, which is something we don't do here in class, um, just because we don't want to ruin our minerals. Not to be honest, I don't want to ruin my minerals. But you're going to start here with appearance. Here is sample A. Let's grab our sheet and see what we're going to do. All right, we got a couple prior knowledge questions. Make sure you answer those. Suppose you find that yellow piece of metal in a stream. Is it real gold, and how can you tell? You're going to put your answer in there. In the city, a street peddler offers to sell you a diamond ring for 30 bucks. I don't know if that's a good deal or not. How could you test if that rock is a real diamond? I'm going to guess it's not if they're selling it for 30 bucks, but you never know how mad someone is. Okay, so answer those two questions for me real quick, and then we're going to go on down here. So the warm-up today for the gizmo is working on density. Density is one we haven't really talked about yet, but it is one of those measurements we can take. Remember, density is mass divided by volume. So we have to have two measurements. You may want to grab your calculator, whether it's on your phone, whether it's from the laptop, wherever is fine. But we're going to find mass divided by volume. So on here, a mineral is a naturally formed crystal. You can identify a mineral by its properties in the mineral identification gizmo, which we have. Under choose property to test, select density. So we're going to come right here. Under here, we are going to select density, and there is all of our fun things. Okay. All right, mass is the amount of substance in an object. Drag that mineral. So you're going to pick up your mineral. There's my little hand. I'm going to drag it to my scale, and right here it reads 36.4 grams, so I would enter that there, 36.4 grams. Volume is the amount of space an object takes up. The volume is measured by how much water rises in the graduated cylinder. We're going to use a little displacement here today. So now we're going to drag our mineral, and we're going to plop it into the cylinder, and up here at the top it's going to tell you our difference. What it rose to was 14 milliliters. So we have 14 milliliters and 36.4 grams. Okay, so now you're going to have to calculate your density. Mass divided by volume. Let me grab my calculator here, which would be 2.6. Okay, we could and should always, always, always put our little friendly units so we know what those measurements are. They're not just numbers, they're actual measurements. So we do need to have those friendly units with it. We are going to start making sure that those are following through. Okay, so there you go, 2.6, and our unit would be grams per milliliter. Okay, so there is how that works. We calculated density. Remember, it is mass divided by volume. Write that down somewhere if you need to. All right, so activity A, you're going to look at the properties. You're going to look at their crystal shape, and to help you out, let's go back to appearance. Here is the common crystal structures. So you're going to look at the shapes of this one and see if you can figure out what crystal structure it has. You're going to describe its color. You can see the color there. I don't know, it's kind of a weird color. But then you can also come down here and look at it compared to some of those luster examples. Is it metallic? Is it glassy? Is it pearly? Is it dull? Okay, and you're going to describe the shape and the color of sample A. Make sure you are on sample A. You're going to take its density. You're going to look at its hardness. You're going to go through that Mohs test, scratching each one. Okay. You're going to do a streak test, and then you're going to do an acid test. The acid test is kind of funky. If you have to take it up, you have to drop, and I didn't drop. Oh, come on. There it goes. There it dropped. You have to wait to see that little drop go. Did you see that happen? It's kind of weird. See if I can do it again. There it goes. Nothing happens. If there is a reaction, it will bubble. And that's what it says down here. If there is a reaction, it will bubble. So you'll see little bubbles on the mineral. So nothing happened. And now can you identify mineral A? Well, to help you out, here is your mineral key at the bottom of your lab. Okay, so you've got the shape, you've got the color, you've got the density, the hardness, the streak color, and did it fizz in the acid? So by looking at all of your results from your test, can you identify sample A? That's the question. Okay. In part B, you're pretty much going to do the same thing. You're going to keep going on, sample B, C, D, E, and F, and you are going to see if you can figure out what they are. Okay, fairly easy. I hope you enjoy your Gizmo today. You're not going to hurt anything, but you do need to do both A and B to get credit for your lab today. Okay, have a good one.